What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we are cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news headlines. And who better to join me today than my sous chef Aiden? Why don't you say what's up?
Hello, everybody. We're making a time capsule, as Kevin
Yeah,
says.
we're
Let's
encapsulating
bury
things.
it, never dig it up. You know.
Never. We're never going to touch this ever again. But before we get into all that, we'd like to say thank you to each and every person who is subscribing, liking these videos, and sharing it with anybody and everybody you know. We appreciate you guys. Real quick, we just hit 500 subs here on YouTube. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. You guys are the best. Personally, I think we got the best community out there. And yeah, thank you to you guys. There's a celebration down there. Down there. It's a party. It's a party everywhere.
Celebrate good times. Copyright.
Yeah, it's not in public domain. But I have a little exercise for us today. And I want to first accredit Kind of Funny for this idea. It's a nice little thing for them, so shout out to them. I want to make a time capsule for Game Sandwich, only for the fact time in gaming is very different from time in real time, if that makes any sense. Years go by, a lot changes. If you ask me what's happening today, if you told me it happened 5 years ago, I'd be like, you're crazy. I want to talk about PlayStation and where they are at now versus where they will be in 10 years. 10 years is a long time. Very long time. I'm going to be 39 by the time this video will come back into the ether. So I want to ask you, Aiden.
Market, I will be 25 plus 10.
Look at that.
Or,
Very
well,
nice.
25 plus 15, realistically. But,
It's
you stay 25. After you hit 30, you stay 25. So,
exactly. It's the girl math that I always love doing. But I want to talk about PlayStation today because out of the big three, I think this is the most interesting prospect. And general, just throwing you the bone here. Where will PlayStation be in 10 years? Use your magical orb and tell me.
dead and buried.
Dead and
I
buried.
don't know. No,
That about
no, I
doesn't
don't
hear.
think. Honestly, okay, so 10 years from now, we're going to be. I mean, we're close to the PS6. So PlayStation 6 will be out. It won't be PlayStation 7 yet. It'll be close to probably the PlayStation 6 Pro because I don't think they're going to stop the Pro thing at any point.
Yeah.
Really, I highly doubt that they'll stop that. Um, let's see. I don't think they're going to have console exclusives anymore.
Ooh.
I really don't. I think it'll be console PC exclusive. I don't think they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you to Xbox, specifically to Xbox, but Xbox will still have it because, you know,
Mm, mm,
Steam.
mm,
So
mm.
I feel like that's how it's going to go. I also feel like a lot of their bigger, like, I feel like a lot of their smaller studios will get bigger, just like making some good first party games. I don't foresee them sticking with the live service thing for the next 10 years. I think it'll be like, oh, once they find what works and what doesn't, then they're going to just do less live service games and then switch back to a focus on like single player games that they're known for and that they kind of built themselves up with. So I think that they'll switch back to that.
Okay, so you laid out the general timeline. Now we're going to dive into various aspects of that. You said there will be potentially a PS6 Pro by then. So you're expecting mid console generation refresh by then.
Yeah, I mean,
Ish.
like, okay, so we're in 2025. We're 5 years into the PS5, and typical console lifespans last 8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years.
So in 2028, that's when like PlayStation 6 will be released, or
Generally,
in
yeah.
2030, somewhere between 2028 and 2030 is when the PlayStation 6 comes, and then typically 4 years after the release or 5 years after the release of the first console is when they do the Pro. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're looking like 10 years from now, it'll be 2035. So if we're not, in a nuclear fallout, like if Bethesda doesn't get it right,
Yeah.
then
Maybe they're like
then
The
we're
Simpsons.
going, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But then we're going to be, yeah, sitting at the PlayStation 6
Okay.
Pro.
The Pro.
Well, asterisk there.
The
The
little,
Pro.
little thing on top. Now, for that, what are we thinking about a console price? Because it's only going up now, and we could potentially see a gaming recession where things just go way, way down. We could see just this continue to go up, and this is very irrelevant. So, where are we feeling with price? Because I'm sticking to like a 600 to potentially $700 price point for this, and that's being very, very like I'm undershooting by a lot.
Okay, I'm going to guess every console price here.
Oh,
Not just
okay.
PlayStation, every console price.
Every
I'm
single
going to
one.
say PlayStation 6 out the gate, it's going to be $750 to $800.
Good
It's going to
shout.
be one of those. When the Pro releases, it's going to be 1,000. Just flat out, it's going to be 1,000. Sorry, it's probably what's going to happen. I guarantee you there's going to be a gaming recession, but it's not going to affect the PlayStation 6 or the next generation consoles. It's going to affect the current generation,
Mm, okay.
and it'll cause the prices of these ones to plummet, and then the next ones, they're going to end up selling for more. But, okay, Nintendo, I definitely foresee them still being the more budget-friendly option, but they're not going to be that much friendly.
It's crazy to
It's going to
say.
be, while that one, it's like $750, $800 price. You're going to be looking at like the Nintendo Switch 3 or whatever for like probably 650, I'd say 600 to 650, somewhere in that. And then for Xbox, I don't foresee them actually having a console at that point.
Oh.
I feel like they're going to be more leaning into the PC market, but if they do have a console, I think they're going to compete with PlayStation, and it's going to be more of a PC, not an actual console, but it's going to be roughly around like that $800 to $1,000 price tag. So
Okay.
there you go.
Now, I'm in the vein where I'll buy any rumor they say about this primarily because they'd be a fool to not do such a thing like it. Handheld, PSP. Are we back? Is there a PSP on the market by this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fully back.
Within the next 10 years, we are going to have for sure a portable Xbox and a portable PlayStation. We're going to have both of those. There's going to be a handheld console war guaranteed. It's going to be Nintendo just not competing because Nintendo can't compete with anything else other than themselves.
Yeah.
And it's going to be PlayStation and Xbox like battling it out to see who has the better one. Guarantee you it's going to be it either Asus or Steam, like well Asus or Valve. One of them will
Yeah.
partner with Xbox to create the handheld,
Yeah.
guaranteed, because they are in the PC market.
They're doing that right now with the ROG.
PlayStation's going to be yeah, PlayStation's going to be by themselves making their own handheld,
Yeah. No.
but they have experience making a handheld, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be a portal, but you can play games natively, which they can kind of do cloud streaming right now, but I'm talking about like actually on the device. Now,
Yeah.
my next question kind of relates to a game that we've seen this generation, but we don't know exactly when we're getting it. I'm talking about Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, which is the new game from Naughty Dog. Do we see this game on the PS5 generation, or is this for the PS6? I'm in the vein, this is PS6. Like, we're not seeing this game for
It's cross-gen.
a cross-gen. Okay, that's a nice
Yeah,
middle
it'll
ground.
be because I guarantee you PlayStation 5 games will still exist for the first 2 to 3 years
Yeah,
of the PlayStation 6 era. So it'll be
normal.
cross-gen. It'll be PS5 and also PS6.
Perfect. Now, the launch lineup for the PS6. Are we feeling a God of War? I am almost certifiably hanging my hat on The Last of Us Part 3. Maybe Uncharted comes back. I don't know. But what are we thinking for a launch lineup of games? Jack and
Okay.
Daxter.
Okay, you're going to call me crazy on this, okay?
Oh
For a
god.
PlayStation 6, you're going
PlayStation.
to call me crazy.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot another game.
Launch titles. Launch titles here. I am foreseeing God of War.
God of War.
I am also going to foresee that there is going to be a comeback of like early gen games.
Ooh.
And so I think they're going to do like a callback thing where they go, "Oh, here's a package." Not like we're making new ones, but like, "Hey, here's a package of remade like PlayStation originals, like
Okay.
remakes of all the Jack and Daxters and like the Sly Coopers and stuff like that.
Turn
Boom,
that up.
there you
We
go.
need it.
That being a launch title because people were gonna really want those. And then now for my crazy out of the park one, uh, Halo.
Halo.
I
Wow.
see I see Halo making a comeback and it being a launch title on the PS6, along with whatever console like
Wow.
Xbox has at that point because Microsoft's not in the business to make consoles anymore. They're in
No.
the publishing business at this point. They want their games on everything. So at this point it's going to end up being a hey, if PlayStation's having a new launch, it'll be like both consoles are launching next to each other.
Yeah.
So whatever Halo game it is, it'll launch on both consoles.
All right. Now the question, which it kind of relates to Halo, but it really is for PlayStation. You said their games won't be a console exclusive, but they will be on the PC. We're not going to see them on Xbox. Do you think this happens sooner rather than later, or do you think this is like, hey, PS6 drops, we're changing how we do things, obviously. What do we think here?
Okay, so within the next like 3 to 5 years, I would
3 to 5.
say 3 to 5, not 10, but like 3 to 5 years, we're going to see PlayStation basically not do console exclusives anymore,
Yep.
but really just like, okay, we're gonna launch on PlayStation and Steam,
No
and
brainer.
then just Xbox will automatically have those because I guarantee you, guaranteed, the
Stamp.
next Xbox will end up being a modular console that is more akin to a PC
Hmm?
and it has Steam on it. So therefore, any game that PlayStation puts on Steam, Xbox will have. We've already seen like the leaks or whatever that like oh Steam is going to Xbox and everything. I have been saying it for years. Like Andrew can affirm it. When
Affirm.
we worked at GameStop, I have been saying it for so many years that Microsoft needs to stop making consoles in the traditional sense. They need to make consoles that are modular and more like a plug and play thing like a PC where you can change the components of your PC.
Yep.
They need to make a console where it's easy. Oh, you put in a new hard drive, done. Okay, you need to upgrade your graphics card, pop out the old one, put the new one in. There
Hmm.
you go. Then everybody can get into PC gaming and everybody can get into building a PC because
Kumbaya.
it'll be simplified.
Simplified. Simple. You plug it in and it
I
just
I
works.
foresee that before you and John talked with Microsoft one, I want to just put that in everyone's head.
It's there.
Like
He said it
Microsoft
here.
will make a modular console. They will make PC building accessible for everybody. That's what's going to happen. That will be their next console.
He's for the people. Uh,
Yeah.
I am very much in this camp that people who are staunch, like, exclusivity matters. It's 2025. It does not matter. And it clearly is a detriment to any money making to be had. And whenever higher ups at PlayStation see that Xbox is making hand over fist, their titles are making the most money on their platforms, very simply put, executives see, oh, that makes more money than what we're currently doing. Let's do that. Am I going to sit here and say, you're going to get The Last of Us Part 3 day one on the Xbox console, whatever it may be, or whatever they choose to do? I don't think that's the case. I do think that, like what you were saying, they will lean into more of this PC things where we do see the bigger titles like God of War, like The Last of Us, maybe like Uncharted, day one PC release. They've done it with Helldivers, that worked, and I think it only benefits them. Like, again, it's just weird to me that they're skipping out right now. And I think the way the industry is going, how everyone's struggling, prices are going up, how do you mitigate cost? You release games where the gamers are. And PC gaming is definitely where I think people are headed to the most within the next 10 years. I think
Oh,
console stuff
that's
is
for
getting
sure.
out of it's getting out of touch.
Oh, studies have shown that more and more people are getting into PC gaming than they are console gaming at this point
Mhm.
because there's more games on it, one, and two, it's it lasts longer. Your PC is going to last you a lot longer of a time than your console will till the next generation.
Yeah. Now, you also brought up, and I'm going to throw the curveball in this video. While we are talking about PlayStation, you brought up a pretty good example here. Is there going to be another big player in gaming? Like, whether we see Valve release a home console that is kind of like that PC thing, where it's like Steam is available, and this is a console that people can go out and buy for like $600 to $700, but it legit has all the games. Like, you don't need to pick a side, you don't need to do X, Y, and Z. Does something like that happen? Do they just stick with the Steam Deck? Let me know.
I don't foresee Valve going in the direction of making another Steam box.
Hmm?
They tried that, it didn't work. It did not. And honestly, for what they sold the Steam box for, and just fun fact for you, my sister and I, back in the day when the Steam box released, I really wanted one,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want to shell out the $600 that it was. My sister and I built a Steam Deck of our, well, a Steam box of our own for $300. It was 300 or $350. My sister and I built one for literally half the cost. And we were like, okay, you know what? I mean, there's a reason why you don't make a PC gaming box thing. But I think if anybody is going to compete, like as a new console maker or anything, it's going to be Asus.
Mm.
I think Asus has a strong, like, I think they're really strong. I think their handheld works really well. You reviewed it. You like it. You talked
Yeah.
extremely highly of it. You were
Love
telling me
it.
about it at PAX and you loved it.
Love it.
But so they make really good handhelds so far.
Mm-hmm.
So Asus, if you're watching and you want to throw one to me too,
Wink, wink.
but wink, wink. But they make really good handhelds, though, as you've said. And so I think that's going to continue. I think they're going to continue making handhelds, but I think they can also expand into more of like modular PC territory. And they can also expand into console territory just because that we already know, like, you already know that they make laptops
Yeah.
and everything. So it's like they're already doing that. They may as well try their hand at it and see if it works. And if it does, hey, there you go. We got another console competitor.
Exactly. While I did pose that question as will they compete with like Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, I don't think anybody new is going to sit there and like shoot up the ranks real quick. But I do think for the sake of adding variety to what we have, and I do think Valve was ahead of the curve as far as like releasing a Steam box back then. I do think if they release something like that now or within the next 2 to 3 years, there is a rumor they are working on something like that. I think it could go over well. But lastly, to kind of wrap up for PlayStation, just off the cuff, PSVR, are they even going to try again? Like, because they did the PSVR 2, and like they were hyping it up, and now it's just nah, like whatever.
No,
They shouldn't.
I got the original PSVR. I had the original one. At the time, I worked at GameStop. I got it for pretty cheap. I
He
got it on sale.
believed.
I was like, yes. Because I loved VR. I really did. Like, I really
Yeah.
loved VR. Like, I had one of the HTC Vibes, like
Mm-hmm.
Vives or whatever. I had one of the original ones. And, I mean, it was a mess. I had, like, a cord strung up in my on my ceiling and everything. I had sensor on one side, sensor on another side, and, like, had to clear out my room and everything to be able to use it. But it was fun. I loved it. And I think that there is a place for VR. I really do. I think that
Yes.
it's going to end up making big strides. I think we're eventually going to get the Ready Player One stuff that we already have it,
Hook me up.
technically. I just think that people will finally get to that point where it's like, oh, affordable. So you can have an omnidirectional treadmill. You can
That's
also
it.
have your headset and everything and have it attached to your ceiling and be like, yeah, let me just run around in place and everything. I think that will be a real thing in 10 years. Like everyone will have, like a lot of people will have that. Not everyone, but
Yeah.
a lot of people will. PlayStation, though, I don't think will be a part of it because
No.
every time PlayStation makes a VR system,
They drop
they
it.
don't pay attention to it. They just go, "Oh yeah, that was the thing," and just throw it out the window. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like the original one had like 30 or 40 games on it, and that's it.
That's it.
They
Yeah.
and half, like not even half of those were good. So,
Yeah.
and like I honestly haven't heard anything about the PSVR 2. Like
Yeah.
I heard it released, and then I heard nothing about games.
Yeah,
So I think they already don't care about it.
yeah, outside that initial launch period for them or whatever, they were like, yeah, PSVR 2. And, like, I believe they even said, like, hey, we're gonna support this thing. And, like, there might be some cult following people out there that like it. And, hey, you'll like what you like in gaming. But for them to release it and let's just say they're not seeing the numbers they want to see, I don't know why you do that. I think you just release a handheld, you release whatever console, and you just kind of you move with the times, and you just do that. But do we have in general? Because I know you're a general gamer. You like all games. Is there anything Gearbox? Is there anything Dark Souls? Is there anything Bloodborne you want to spout off before we wrap up here?
Okay, you know what? I give up on the aspect of Bloodborne 2. If
Oh
FromSoft surprises me,
no,
they surprise me, but I think their next game is going to be another Elden Ring. It's going to
Elden
be
Ring
like a
2.
it's going to be like a smaller version of Elden Ring or something. And that or it'll be another original title, but it's going to be like Elden Ring with a big open world, but it's going to be smaller because Miyazaki already said that he doesn't want to make a game as big as Elden Ring again. He wants to make it smaller. That would be his perfect game. So like we're either going to see a continuation of the Soul series. For the sake of Andrew, I want to see a game in the Soul series completely focused on the Age of Darkness.
Ooh, okay.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Or like like I said, I don't think that they're going to be doing Bloodborne 2. I think they're going to just like tease people about it. They're always going to mock people and be like, "Oh, look,
Be
there's
persistent, or
this thing."
wasn't
Yeah,
it that
exactly.
the line? Oh, they're
Yeah,
blue
like I
balling
don't think
people.
that one's coming. I just think that they are just in it to mock people with it. But so I mean, there's that one. I mean, Gearbox, I don't think is ever going to give up. Randy, at some point, I think will probably end up getting kicked out of Gearbox for being way too absurd as the CEO. Um, not that like not that he's like a terrible person. I don't like hate him. I just don't think he's good in the CEO position. I think he's
Optics. The good in the
too
optics.
emotional. I just think he's too emotional of a person and like goes off the cuff like way too often
That he did.
because like, he has made some major mistakes.
We
But
did a video on that last week.
anyway,
Go check it
but
out.
I think that Gearbox will be probably on Borderlands 5 at that point, not Borderlands 6. They might do like some spin-offs or something too. I don't think they're gonna try to do anything like Godfall again because that failed miserably. Um, and you know what? I may as well make some crazy prediction because what the
Yeah.
hell? What
Leave
what
him
the
with
hell do I
something
have to
good.
lose? Um, let's see. Within the next 10 years, we're going to have Kingdom Hearts 4. We're not going to have Kingdom Hearts 5.
Wow.
Um,
Poor
what
John.
else? Hey, poor me too. I love Kingdom
You
Hearts.
too. You too.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
All
Hello.
right.
Stained glass right here on my arm.
That is
But
true.
but you know what? We're gonna see Banjo-Kazooie come back.
My
I will
cut.
say that.
That's
We'll see
my.
Banjo-Kazooie, and then we'll see, like I already said, we'll see Sly Cooper and we'll see Jack and Daxter return. Um, let's go with this. Like, PlayStation's going to create another new mascot. They're not going to use the little robot dude.
Astrobot, no!
They're gonna use Astrobot. They're
They
still
got
gonna
rid of
use them, but
Sackboy.
they'll create more,
Oh, more little.
like more of them, and create more for like first party like action
Yeah.
platformers and like more first party single player games. I think that's just ultimately what they're gonna end up doing.
Yeah. For the sake of it, he's in the thumbnail, and I haven't even mentioned him here right now. Ratchet and Clank will get another game. What it is, I don't know, but it will
Oh
be
yeah,
something.
Ratchet, Ratchet will come back. You know what? I'll make the bold prediction too
Bold.
that people are going to boycott Nintendo to the point where they are a much smaller company.
The mutiny starts in the
Yeah,
next 10 years. Mark your calendars.
yeah.
I'm gonna leave it with whether it be God of War, Spider-Man, whatever, will be playable on an Xbox in the next 10 years. Just putting it out there. Prepare now, and then you can cry later. That's all that matters. But for the sake of not yapping anymore and pissing more people off, that about does it for this episode of Community Kitchen. If you like this kind of video, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for more content just like this. Drop a like on the video, and if you want to talk more about your favorite games, talk more about what'll happen in gaming in the next 10 years, join our Discord, and keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be doing a Nintendo episode of this, we're going to be doing an Xbox episode of this, and maybe more. Who knows, because gaming is rather expansive. But as of right now, I've been Kalo, joined by Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.